This is Crosswalk. Some of the opinions expressed by Crosswalk's guests are not necessarily those of this program or of this radio station.
Yes, the three of us are Christians. We believe that Jesus is who he said he is. But we decided that we were going to make rock and roll music and say whatever we want to say. And with that in mind, we completely avoided the Christian music market. We just said we're not even going to go near it.
Strong words from Doug Pinnick, bass player and lead vocalist for the Houston, Texas-based power trio King's X, but they back it up with strong music. Though sometimes classified as a heavy metal band, critics have been falling over themselves to praise the group's literate, intelligent lyrics, which are a cut above those of most metal-oriented bands. Musical styling aside, the thought-provoking lyrics on 1988's Out of the Silent Planet and last year's Gretchen Goes to Nebraska have found King's X being compared to U2, another band that deals with spiritually oriented themes in its songs. Bernie Bernard has a profile of this dynamic group.
You are the one who magnifies hate. You are the one who destroys our love. You are the one disguised as a saint. It won't be long, your kingdom will quake. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's coming.
King's X is a very determined band which has persevered in its music for nearly 10 years. Doug Pinnick and drummer Jerry Gaskill have been working together since 1980, backing Phil Keaggy on his Flipside tour, then joining guitarist Ty Tabor in Springfield, Illinois in 1981 to form The Edge. Doug Pinnick talks about the early days of King's X.
When we started out, we were doing our own music the way we felt we should do it, and then we couldn't get work, and so we started doing cover tunes, and we started writing songs the way everybody else thought we should write them, sounding like other people, so we get a record deal, you know, the whole industry thing of you should sound like this, and then you can sell 1 million records. So we started doing all that, but still we couldn't get signed.
King's X got a taste of dealing with the Christian music industry in those first years, and Jerry Gaskill and Doug Pinnick say they weren't impressed.
It's just a limiting kind of a thing, and I don't want to be confined to anything. And I think to follow Christ and to be a Christian like we're all talking about, there can't be any limits anywhere. The only limits can be Christ, and he's the unlimited one.
I would rather go out into the world where the people are honest. It's like they want money, it's the bottom line. They don't care about you, they care about themselves and where they can go, and at least I know what I'm up against. And then we can go in there and fight, and it's honest, it's true. I mean, we know that in the secular world, people, it's dog-eat-dog world, they will kill you, and we're aware of it. But in the Christian music scene, it's worse. It's so deceptive, you know what I mean? From the things that we've seen.
After 5 years of struggling around the Midwest club circuit, King's X migrated to Houston in 1986. The band was introduced by mutual friends to Sam Taylor, an award-winning video producer and longtime vice president of ZZ Top's organization. Gaskill and Pinnick say the first thing that struck them about Sam Taylor was his honesty.
He told us things that other people hadn't been telling us. He told us that we need to just dig inside ourselves and play what we enjoyed playing.
He says, well, who are you? What do you really want to do? What do you want to say? How do you feel? You know, what's really in your heart? He said, forget about everything else and just do that. And so that's what we decided to do, and that's where the first album came.
Shot of
After a year and a half of woodshedding and shopping demos, King's X signed with Megaforce Records, internationally distributed by Atlantic Records, and released Out of the Silent Planet. Critical acclaim was swift, though not immediately reflected in U.S. record sales. But the normally cynical British rock press had even higher praise for the band. King's X did a short promotional tour of England in late 1988 and returned for a series of concerts in June of '89 with the release of Gretchen Goes to Nebraska. Doug Pinnick says the highlight of the tour was a sold-out show at the prestigious Marquee Club.
The most special feeling was to see the place wall-to-wall kids and see them lined up 3 or 4 blocks down the street to get in, to see a band that had one record out and had never been to England and nobody even hardly ever heard of. You know, it was the first time we played there. It was amazing, and the kids knew every word of every song, and they sung them all, and it was a big celebration.
Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music. Over my head, it's loud and clear. It's going to my head. Music, I hear music. Music, I hear music. Music. Oh, 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 Lord. Music over my head.
The audience for King's X is steadily growing in the U.S. The band's video for Over My Head ranked in the top 10 on MTV for many weeks, and the follow-up clip, Summerland, was also well received. Radio airplay has not been as strong, but Jerry Gaskill says King's X is pleased with the media's response.
I'm kind of, in a way, happy that things are moving slower than just all of a sudden everything's bang, you know, because I think that may give it more time to last, or when it does catch on, if it does, it's gonna last. And I think I'm much happier with that idea than just all of a sudden bang, and then where do you go from there?
King's X can also count a growing number of Christians among its fans, but Doug Pinnick emphasizes that the band will not be limited by the expectations of that audience.
I'm not afraid to say that I'm a Christian, but I'm not afraid to say that I've got problems. I'm not afraid to say that I hurt inside or I'm happy inside. I'm not afraid to say that we are not a ministry and we're not out to save the world. Lots of Christians will come out, and a lot of kids have tapped in. They see a good thing here. Other people stand back and go, well, how come you're not saying something from the stage? Why isn't there a big witness going on? And I just look at him and go, I'm sorry, you know, but we do what we do, and I'm not going to worry about you because you're not the one I have to answer to.
King's X is currently on a writing vacation, preparing demos for a third album, which it hopes to have out by late summer. I'm Bernie Bernard.
Walk through a garden in the morning. I walked right into a jam. No words were spoken, just a feeling. I cannot